Is that fuel station ripping you off? I mean, how would you even know? They must be. It's a classic scam. Those bastards. How is it otherwise possible to jam 65 litres or something into your 60-litre tank? I'm John Cadogan from AutoExpert.com.au, the place where new car buyers save thousands off their next new cars. Hit me up on the website for that. Captain's log, star dates, Christ, who cares? Still got the damn man flu or smallpox. They feel the friggin' same, that's for sure. So, if blood erupts from my every orifice and I collapse before you, do not forget to hit the hate button and, I don't know, carry on without me. It's been emotional. Got a question from a guy named Paul recently, mainly about mistakenly putting petrol in a diesel vehicle. Pro tip there, don't do that, especially in a modern diesel. Paul's question in just a sec, right? But to detain you briefly on the whole misfueling issue, the fuel system in a modern diesel uses the diesel as a lubricant for the precision parts. Petrol, gasoline, America. Petrol is sadly a spectacularly shit lubricant. So the more you dilute diesel with petrol inadvertently, the quicker you kill your diesel fuel system, and it is generally a 5-figure repair bill. Ouch. If you misfuel your car in this fashion, do not restart it. Not even a little bit. Not even to move it away from the damn pump. That could be a $20,000 mistake. Get the car towed, drained, and professionally repaired. Hey, you're welcome. And then Paul said this. I have a Nissan Patrol GU Ute with the TD42 turbo engine. It has 2 diesel tanks, the standard 95-litre and the 80-litre reserve tank. What I would do during my refueling ritual would be fill the 80-litre first to see if the servo was ripping me off. Interesting how with some servos you can put 85-litre into an 80-litre tank. Okay, so we're going to stop Paul right there because he has arrived at the nutbag city limits. I'm so sorry to disappoint you on this, but the newsflash here is that there simply is no short-pouring conspiracy at service stations. Fuel stations are not ripping you off in this way, and Paul's experience here, I kind of get it, is simply a failure to understand how fuel tanks and fuel pumps actually work. 5 litres in 80, I mean 6% down, that would certainly be a proper scandal if it were widespread, but it's not. Here's the regulatory framework for fuel measurement and delivery here in Shitsville. Fuel pumps are required by legislation to be accurate within 0.3%, and this is the same standard as in Retardistan, I think. That's 10 litres or gallons, whatever, 10 whatevers, indicated on the Bowser equals 9.97 to 10.03 whatevers actually being decanted, delivered, whatever, into your tank. Every filling hose at every servo in the nation is a measuring instrument under the National Measurement Act, and the penalty for a serious breach there is $210,000 per offence for a company and $42,000 for an individual. So that's quite the disincentive to go and take you to the prison showers over $1 here and $1 there at the Bowser, right? It's a big penalty. So if you're a servo operator, why risk it when you can simply sell a never-ending stream of morons a bottle of water for $6 or something, inclusive of the customary 10 billion% markup? There's the daylight robbery at filling stations right there. It is under your friggin' snout, and you're obsessed with the fuel. The enforcers in this domain are the feds, right? The National Measurement Institute, which is a division of the Federal Department of Industry, and I'm going to call them the NMI. Each fuel pump you use has to be verified as being accurate within that 0.3% tolerance by an NMI certified servicing licensee. And it is just not very easy to get that particular qualification. Not one of those breakfast cereal packet qualification jobs. the calibration points on the pumps have to be sealed. They're tamper-proof unless you break the seals, which is an offence. In the past 12 months, the NMI audited almost 2,000 pumps. It was 1,993 fuel pumps right across Shitsville, across all brands and interdependence and independence. Get it right. Hashtag damn man flu. I hate you. Just 30 pumps in that audit over-delivered in flavour of going really well today. In flavour of the customer, and 93 under-poured. So just to clarify that without the ridiculous F-ups, 30 pumps over-delivered in favour of the customer and 93 under-poured, and the amounts of over and under-delivery were not released. And this appears to be a legal issue rather than some sort of NMI cover-up to support the conspiracy. Anyway, if that audit were representative of the 6,400 servos across Shitsville, about 1 in 20 pumps is under-pouring you. But before you get your knickers in a complete torsional nutbuster over this, under-pouring means delivering less than 0.3% accuracy tolerance, right? And that means, hypothetically, if it's 0.5% or something at a particular audited pump, that is technically a breach. But I'd suggest to you that the error is trivial. And this is not a scam, it's a calibration issue. Operational noise and nothing more. It would take eons to retire to the Bahamas on an error like that if it were intentional. And yet, despite the existence of quaint concepts including reason and critical thinking, 2/3 of Shitsvillian consumer complaints to the NMI concern allegations of underpouring fuel bowsers. They investigate, right, and they find about 1 complaint in every 12 is justified, statistically. And justified means a bowser operating outside of the 0.3% accuracy tolerance. 1 in 12, right? 1 technically legitimate complaint for every 11 whinging, scientifically illiterate Shitsvillian nuts. Australia, where it's still cool to be dumb, disgracefully. And that sounds about right to me, 1 in 12. Section 19H of the National Measurement Act, which is a miracle cure for insomnia, there's no doubt on this, but also quite important because it's there to stop consumers of just about everything from getting ripped off. Section 19H prohibits the NMI from detailing the results of its investigations, including individual fines. The only time that information actually surfaces on this is if a matter is successfully prosecuted in court, and then it becomes part of the public record and we can all read about it. I guess we could advocate for naming and shaming here, and perhaps that would look like greater transparency. What we do know is that getting ripped off in this way by under-delivery is virtually a non-issue here in Shitsville. Last year, across all industries, the NMI conducted 9,460 trade measurement law audits. It tested almost 15,000 instruments and 965 weighbridges. And this is like the broad brushstrokes of keeping the bastards honest, performed across all industries by the NMI. And this data is according to them. It also measured 271,000 individual packages. What a job from hell that must be. After all of that zealous regulatory weighing and measuring of this and that, the NMI issued just 3,620 non-compliance notices, 222 warning letters, and just 58 fines, totalling just $65,250. And more than anything else, this simply tells me that there is no elaborate figure-fudging conspiracy because the fines are generally proportional to the seriousness of the breaches. After all of that, just 1 business was referred to the Commonwealth Director of Public Prosecutions. So that's 59 serious to semi-serious regulatory responses flowing from almost 300,000 official investigations. Like, what's that? 1 in 5,000, right? I wish the odds of a federal front bencher being an out-of-touch dickhead with no life experience were that low. I think the joint would be better if we had statistics like that in Parliament. So, you'd have to conclude that the totality of weighing and measuring of sundry consumer shit here is underpinned by a system that's actually working quite well. There is no fraudulent fuel decanting, underpouring conspiracy. The media is, of course, systematically biased towards conflict, intellectual laziness and sensationalism. There's that. Which is why they spin the shit out of almost 5% of servos are shortchanging the Aussie battler. The only problem there, right? It's bullshit. There is no conspiracy. In the next video, I will show you why and how jamming 85 litres of fuel in an 80-litre tank does not mean that you are getting ripped off. But it is certainly rather a bad idea. I'll have that one up for you in the next couple of days, hopefully, certainly as soon as possible, if I do not die from this ailment. So you want to subscribe before I'm no longer with you. Thanks for watching.